We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. Come to the light.
Hello, everyone. We're back.
Back again.
We're back. It's us. Hope you guys ain't tired of us yet. We're back because we're not
Get
going
used to it.
anywhere. Get used to it. Settle in. We're not going anywhere. We're on episode
37.
37.
Yeah, already.
37. All right. Well, welcome to episode 37. Welcome, you guys.
Yep, welcome back. So, tonight's episode is one of those where we're not rushing anywhere. We're not trying to convince anybody of anything. We're just sitting with some things that actually happened and letting them be as strange as they are.
And every story we're sharing tonight is real. Every story reported, verified, and somehow still hard to believe once you hear it from us out loud.
So, we called this episode Ridiculous Stories You Won't Believe Are True. Not because we're leaning into shock, but because real life has a way of quietly outdoing fiction when no one's paying attention.
And a lot of these don't feel loud, they don't feel dramatic. They don't feel dramatic at first, but they just sit with you afterwards.
Before we get into the stories, though, we're going to pause and do our community announcements.
Yay. In there.
All right.
So we've got those on paper here with us. So we'll just take a moment here and we'll look through them.
We have first up is The Real Deal. January 23rd, 2026, the Hard Rock Casino does present The Real Deal, and they're going to be at the cafe stage at 9 p.m. And they also said, join us for an after party following Martin Lawrence on the big stage. And that's at 7801 East State Street in Rockford, Illinois.
All right. I think that's their schedule.
That's their
schedule
on there. So they do have a lot of things coming up, and we will announce it. Next, we have the first annual Lincoln Mall Future Leaders Kids Market.
Yay.
Yay, that's an event hosted by Vince Brooks and Tamara Roach Photography. And that is going to be Saturday, February 28th at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I will be there. I might stream, probably will stream. And Lincoln Mall is located at 1255 West Galena Avenue here in Freeport. And they said what to expect is a new event coming soon to the Lincoln Mall. We're excited to announce the first annual Future Leaders Kids Market, a fun, family-friendly event celebrating our young entrepreneurs and kid-focused businesses and services in our community.
So are you gonna go cover it? Are you gonna participate?
Well, I do know Cadence wants to participate, so
okay.
I don't know if I'll have to be focused more on that than streaming. So I don't know. I don't know how busy it's gonna be. Or really what to expect.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll see. I hope it goes well though. Next we have Saturday, February 21st at 8 p.m. Too Deep is going to be at Mary's Place.
Too Deep.
And that's 602 North Madison Street in Rockford. They said what you expect is Rockford's premier funk soul band, Too Deep, is back at Mary's Place on Saturday, February 21st.
All right.
Yep. Next is Pancake and Sausage Day. Saturday, January 24th at 8 a.m. And that event is hosted by Emmanuel Lutheran Freeport, located at 1964 West Pearl City Road here in Freeport. They said, please join us in the Emmanuel Lutheran School gym for Pancake and Sausage Day, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
What's the date again?
Saturday, January 24th
Okay.
at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
24.
Adults are $7, seniors are $6, children are $4, and it is $1 more on the day of. So get your tickets.
Get your tickets early. Save yourself some money there.
Next, we have Parents Night Out. And that's an event by the Family YMCA of Northwest Illinois and Aaron Green as well. And it's located at 2998 West Pearl City Road in Freeport. Date is going to be January 24th from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. And they said for what to expect is parents, you deserve a break, and your kids deserve a night of fun. For just $10 a child, you get 4 full hours of kid-free time to enjoy a date night, run errands, relax at home, or take advantage of our exclusive community meal specials offered that evening. While you recharge, your kids will be having an amazing time. Dinner, snacks, games, prizes, arts and crafts, activities, and so much more.
Get a chance to drop the kiddos off.
Last one, Saturday, January 24th at 7 p.m., the annual Phantoms Bowling Night. And that is an event by Freeport Phantoms Youth Football and Cheer. It's going to be at Four Seasons Bowling Center, 1100 West Galena Ave. And they said for what to expect, join us for the annual Phantoms Bowling Night and help support the 2025 season. Cost is $50 for 2-person teams and includes shoes and 3 games.
All right. Okay. Those are the community announcements we have for this month. So let's get back then. Let's come right back.
Yep. And before we dive in, just a quick GIA Travels moment. My mom has officially reached the stage of life where she keeps saying, I just want to go on a cruise somewhere.
And I told her she'll love it. She would love it.
And if you're someone who wants to travel without paying extra just because something sounds fancy, Vince Brooks is who people keep getting referred to. He helps people plan trips in a way that actually makes it affordable.
If you want to reach him directly, the email is giatravels9@gmail.com.
All right.
Now we can get into it.
Yeah, so let's start with one that sounds like internet nonsense, but unfortunately isn't.
I remember seeing the headline when it first popped up and scrolling right past it. I assumed it was satire, or at least exaggerated.
Same. It didn't sound like something that could survive fact checking.
But once you read the reporting, it gets harder to laugh.
This happened in Manhattan, summer of 2025 at Sidley Austin.
Okay. And the details matter, because if you don't know big law culture, it's already intense before anything strange enters the picture.
These are environments where summer associates are under constant pressure, long hours, constant evaluation, and everything feels like a test.
You're trying to impress people who control whether your career moves forward or it stops right there.
So when something unusual happens, people hesitate. Nobody wants to be the one who misreads the situation.
And in this case, the unusual thing was a summer associate biting her co-workers.
Not once, Not accidentally, but multiple times.
over weeks.
What made it harder for people to react was how it was framed,
And coworkers described it as playful, almost childlike.
which is a strange word to apply to an adult office full of people in tailored suits and glass conference rooms.
She wasn't yelling. She wasn't angry. According to the reports, she treated it like a quirky habit.
Like some people crack jokes when they're nervous, she bit.
And when you hear that, your brain almost stalls out.
Because what's the script for that? What's the protocol?
Is it a harassment? Is it a medical issue? Is it something HR needs to handle quietly?
And instead of stopping immediately, it kept happening.
And reports say as many as 10 co-workers were bitten,
10 people.
including someone from HR.
And that detail sticks with me because HR is supposed to be the line where things stop.
If HR is getting bitten and still not shutting it down, that tells you how frozen the environment was.
People later said they were shocked in the moment. They didn't know what to
I
say.
bet.
They didn't want to overreact.
And that hesitation is how behavior like this survives.
Not because people approve, but because nobody wants to be the first to say, this isn't okay.
There's also the power dynamic, too. Some associates are temporary, full time staff don't want to escalate something that sounds unbelievable, really, and out of control out loud
So it floats, it lingers.
until something else happens.
A firm dinner.
High end restaurant, expensive. What is
Expensive wine list.
She runs up a tab close to $2,000. Oops,
Not a misunderstanding.
we got the
Not an accidental order. Multiple bottles charged directly to the firm card.
and that's when everything snapped into focus.
Because suddenly it wasn't quirky anymore. It was a liability.
And so she was fired the next day.
No gradual correction, no quiet reassignment.
Just gone.
What stays with me isn't even the biting part itself.
Same.
It's how long the system took to react.
Baker law already pushes people past normal limits. They add exhaustion, hierarchy, and fear of speaking up, and strange things slip through sometimes.
It's a reminder that professionalism isn't enforced evenly.
Some rules stay flexible until they suddenly aren't flexible.
And when a line finally appears, it's unforgiving.
You know what? This story sticks because it makes you wonder how many other things get ignored just because no one wants to be the first to name them.
Truth stays wilder than we think. All right. So now we're on to story 2.
Mm-hmm.
It shifts the tone a little, but it still falls squarely into the category
Yes.
of things that sound made up until you see the footage.
And this one happened last December in Virginia. A liquor store break-in that didn't involve any people at all.
Ashland ABC store. Normal night. The owner locks up, sets the alarm, and the cameras are running like always.
And nothing unusual until the next morning.
Overnight, a raccoon manages to get inside the building, and investigators think that it slipped through a loose vent or panel. Nothing dramatic, just persistence and opportunity.
And once it's inside, it's just like the raccoon realizes it walked into a jackpot.
Security footage shows it climbing shelves, knocking over bottles of whiskey, scotch, all the
Mm.
expensive stuff.
Not grabbing anything to take with it.
Just knocking bottles down, cracking them open, and drinking straight from the spills on the floor.
It wasn't cautious either.
No rush, no panic. Just moving from bottle to bottle like it was doing a tasting.
Wine tasting test for the
Yeah.
raccoon. And at some point, the raccoon wanders toward the back of the store.
Ends up in the bathroom.
And morning comes. The owner opens up and immediately knows something is wrong.
Broken glass everywhere, strong smells of alcohol, bottles empty that definitely weren't empty the night before,
He follows the mess.
and finds the raccoon passed out on the bathroom floor, surrounded by broken bottles.
Just completely out of there, you guys.
So animal control gets called, and they show up expecting chaos.
Instead, they find a raccoon, which what they describe as an epic hangover. The raccoon hangover.
That's, they put it in a crate and gave it water, let it sober up for a few hours.
They had to let the raccoon get sober. It's like what they do to people and they throw them in jail and they hang on, let them sober up. They put him in a crate. That was his jail. Gave him some water. No injuries, just poor decision. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this stuff. No boy.
Once it was stable, they released it back into the nearby woods.
No charges filed. No charges.
The store owner even joked that the raccoon earned it.
And what makes this story linger is how human it feels.
Yeah, the curiosity, the lack of moderation, the consequences catching up all at once.
Animals watch us more closely than we think.
It saw an opportunity and took it without overthinking anything.
No planning, no regret, just vibes.
And somehow it became one of the least harmful crimes we've talked about tonight.
Proof that sometimes chaos doesn't come with malice.
Just timing. All right, so story 3 shifts everything. This one isn't funny. It's one of those stories that makes your chest tighten the longer you sit with it.
Yeah, this happened in Florida last summer, July of 25.
The woman's name is Sharon Brightwell, and what happened to her is what law enforcement now calls a virtual kidnapping.
Which already sounds like something you shouldn't have to explain to people.
She's at home when her phone rings. The number looks almost identical to her daughter April's. It's just one digit off.
She answers without thinking.
And immediately hears her daughter crying. Not just crying, panicked, breathless, and the kind of sound that bypasses your logic.
And parents know that sound.
Exactly. Sharon said later she didn't stop to analyze it. She didn't question it. Her body reacted before her brain could catch up.
And the voice said she's been in a car accident, that she was texting while she was driving.
Says she hit a pregnant woman badly.
And then explains why the call is coming from a strange number. Claims police took her phone as evidence.
Every detail is designed to make it sound official, urgent, plausible.
Then another voice comes on the line.
A man claiming to be her daughter's public defender.
He says April is being detained. Bail is possible, but it has to happen immediately.
$15,000 cash.
Cash. And he tells us something important.
Don't tell anyone, not the bank, not family, says it could hurt her daughter's case.
That isolation is key.
Sharon goes to the bank and withdraws her retirement savings.
A courier shows up at her house in Dover.
She hands over the money and watches the car drive away.
Then the phone rings again.
The man says the pregnant woman didn't make it.
Oh, wow. Says the family wants to sue. Demands 30,000 more.
This is hours of psychological pressure, layer after layer.
This is when a grandson gets involved.
He notices that something doesn't add up and gets Sharon to slow down just enough to check.
They call April directly.
She answers, calm, confused, at work on her lunch break.
But the contrast breaks everything open.
Sharon said hearing her real daughter's voice made her legs give out. She just collapsed.
The scammers had cloned April's voice using short videos from social media.
Seconds of audio. That's all it took.
Police in Hillsborough County opened an investigation, but the money was gone.
The family later started a fundraiser to try to recover what was lost.
April said something that stuck with me.
She said, hearing your child in distress wipes your logic clean. You don't think, you act.
That's right. That's what makes this so disturbing. It weaponizes love.
And it shows how our digital trail can be used against us.
They use code words now, family verification phrases.
Because once that trust is broken, you don't get it back easily.
And you know what? This isn't science fiction anymore.
It's already here. The technology.
Yes.
Yep. So, with that story, we are now moving on to story 4. And I want to say this up front. This one stays with you not because it's loud, but because of how wrong it feels once you understand what happened.
Yeah, this isn't shocking in a sensational way. It's disturbing in a quiet, human way.
This happened in the Bay Area last year. A family dealing with an unexpected death trusted a funeral home to handle their loved one with care.
A young man passed away suddenly. His parents were left doing that numb walk through arrangements that nobody is ever ready for.
They chose a suit, a tie, all the details people focus on when they're trying to hold themselves together.
A few days later, the funeral home calls the father.
They tell him his son's personal effects are ready to be picked up and things that were removed during preparation.
Wallet, keys, his clothing. That's what you expect.
He goes to the mortuary, signs paperwork, and is handed a plastic bag.
And he doesn't look inside right away.
Because why would you? You're grieving. You trust that process.
He takes it home, he sets it on the kitchen table.
When he opens it, he finds his son's brain in a plastic container.
The actual organ, his brain.
Not labeled clearly, not explained, just sitting there.
According to the reports, the funeral home had removed the brain for pathological testing.
It was supposed to be stored separately, documented, transferred properly.
Instead, it was placed in the wrong cooler and handed over with personal belongings.
The father panics.
And this part is hard to hear, but it matters.
In shock, not knowing what to do, he throws the bag into his washing machine.
Pours in detergent.
Starts a full cycle.
He later said he thought it was contaminated, that his body had just reached, that his body had just reacted.
The funeral home realizes the mistake the next day when they can't locate the organ
They call him.
and have to explain that they accidentally gave him part of his son instead of his belongings.
The father told the reporters that an error destroyed any closure they were reaching for.
The funeral home issued a formal apology and promised new labeling procedures. They cited it was a busy shift change.
But none of that fixes what happened.
It raises questions about how routine handling death becomes for people who work around it every single day.
And how one moment of inattention can permanently damage a family.
Trust breaks fastest when you need it the most.
And grief does leave room for mistakes like that. Wow.
Yeah, so that was a that one was kind of heavier.
That was a heavier story.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just imagine?
It's crazy.
I couldn't
either.
to get a part of your child.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. So, with that being said, let's move on to story 5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, story 5 is one of those that sounds impressive at first until you realize how long it went on and how many people believed it.
And this happened in Los Angeles, and the police said it took decades before the whole thing finally collapsed.
The man at the center of it spent more than 30 years pretending to be a firefighter.
Not in a casual way, not like telling people at a bar.
He built a full identity around it.
He had his own fire truck.
A real truck. Lights, sirens, department markings that looked official enough to pass at a distance.
I can't. He showed up at community events, charity drives, even emergency scenes.
Oh, God. Neighbors thought he was legit. They trusted him. They let their kids climb on the truck and had block parties.
He ran fake charity fundraisers too. He collected donations under the idea that they were supporting the firefighters. Boo.
And he went further than most people would expect.
He built a website for his fake department.
A logo, a mission statement, contact numbers that all looped back to him.
He even attended training sessions.
He sat in on drills with the real firefighters, took notes, learned the language, learned the routines.
And that's why nobody questioned him for so long.
He sounded right, looked right, acted right.
And police said he sometimes showed up at actual fires and started directing people.
Which is terrifying if you actually think about it.
And you're right, the rest finally happened when real firefighters noticed him at a brush fire giving orders over radio that wasn't there.
That's when someone stopped and asked, "Who are you actually with?"
In search of his home, turned up everything.
Fake badges, turnout gear, oxygen tanks,
no, he didn't.
fire hoses, IDs.
Oh boy, even weapons that registered incorrectly.
What's strange is there wasn't a huge financial motive.
No massive fraud trail, no luxury lifestyle.
Police said it seemed more about the role than the money.
He wanted to be seen as a hero.
And for decades, people let him.
That's the unsettling part, though.
How long a lie can live when it fits what people expect to see.
Truth eventually outs itself, but sometimes it takes way too long.
And by then, a lot of trust has already been spent.
Wow. He had the gear, the ID, the oxygen tanks. He had everything.
He had it all.
in his own fire truck.
And got
Who
away with
does?
it for
Who
30
does?
years.
Who does that? Giving kitties rides and letting them rub on his truck. Oh my goodness! And it wasn't. It was that fake radio that got him caught. The
Right.
other fireman's like, we don't have that kind of radio. Where you get that from? We don't use those. He went out and bought his own. I can't with some people. Okay.
All right, so story 6 is one of those that makes you pause because it's not dramatic in the way people expect danger to look, but it still changes how safe public spaces feel.
Yeah. This happened in California last year, and it wasn't a one time incident. That's what made it escalate.
Reports started coming in from different places: grocery stores, malls, public parks, women describing the same experience.
A man approaching them from behind,
Close enough to invade your personal space.
and then doing something so strange, it took people a second to understand what happened.
He would lean in.
Don't say it. I ain't gonna be able to hold it together. I'm not gonna be able to hold it. Okay, go ahead. Tell him what he was doing.
Oh my goodness, this one is pretty funny. He would lean in and sniff their butt. Literally. No words, no touching, just that.
And then he walk away like nothing happened.
The victims described him as casual, calm, almost relaxed about it.
That detail matters because it adds to the confusion.
People weren't sure how to react in the moment. By the time they processed it, he was gone.
It happened enough times across different counties that police realized it wasn't isolated.
One woman in a Target parking lot
Ooh,
turned quickly enough to get a picture.
got a photo. That image matched descriptions from earlier complaints.
And then the surveillance footage later on caught up to him in parks repeating the same behavior.
So they call him sniffing other butts in in the parking lot. Oh boy. Police said he had prior arrests for similar conduct.
Court documents described it as a compulsion,
No violence, no verbal threats.
but a complete disregard for consent and personal space.
And women start changing how they move through public spaces.
Shopping in pairs, staying alert, watching their surroundings in places that should feel routine.
That's the real impact.
Not just the act itself, but how it shifts behavior for everyone else.
Police arrested him, though, multiple times. Charges stayed relatively low because there was no physical harm.
But humiliation and
Mhm.
fear count for something, even if the law struggles to measure them.
The story sticks because it shows how discomfort still can be a form of harm.
And how public spaces aren't automatically safe just because they're familiar.
One person's unchecked behavior can ripple out farther than they ever see.
And it reminds you that vigilance often comes from experience, not paranoia.
Wow. That is strange.
Mm-hmm.
He had to have some kind of mental, well, definitely a mental something going on
Yeah.
to go around and want to sniff people. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
All right, so story 7 is on the lighter side,
Mm-hmm.
on the surface, but it still says a lot about how trust works right now.
Okay. And yeah, this one sits at the intersection of hunger, convenience, and people not asking too many questions.
This happened over the course of 2024 into 2025. A man running what looked like a highly rated restaurant.
Except it wasn't a restaurant.
It was his backyard.
He listed a place on delivery apps with a name that sounded exclusive, Italian sounding, fancy enough to be intentional.
Sounding something like a hidden gem, the kind of spot that people would be proud to discover,
He kept the delivery radius tight so only nearby neighbors could order.
which made it feel even more legit, like, oh, this must be a local spot.
The photos on the map weren't his,
They were taken from real Italian restaurants online. Clean plates, perfect lighting,
and the reviews.
mostly fake. Burner accounts. 5 stars, people praising the crust, the sauce, the authenticity.
Orders coming in, $20 a pizza.
What the customers didn't know was that he was buying frozen pizzas from the grocery store.
Who was this? Totino's,
DiGiorno,
DiGiorno's, and whatever was on sale.
he baked them on a backyard grill, sprinkle in a little garnish on top, and boxed them up.
He even printed custom labels for the boxes.
Which is important because the presentation does a lot of the work, especially with food.
Yes, and people got their food hot.
On time.
And when food shows up hot and fast, people don't ask too many questions.
They left good reviews, they told friends, bragged online about finding this amazing local place.
The restaurant climbed the app rankings.
For months, he ran this operation quietly, pulling in steady money and no overhead beyond pizza, frozen pizza, and printer ink.
And neighbors smelled cheap cheese and thought it was just a side hustle.
It finally unraveled when a reviewer posted a photo showing a paper plate inside the delivery box.
Apps traced the IP address to a residential backyard.
The listing was shut down, accounts were banned.
No serious charges, just the end of the run.
What sticks with me is how easy it was.
Yeah, no hacking, no insider access.
Just knowing that convenience lowers skepticism.
And hunger plus algorithm equals trust.
And once people trust the screen, they trust what comes through the door.
It makes you wonder how much of what we consume is held together by reviews we never question.
One backyard, one grill, and an app did the rest.
Wow. Well, he had a business going. He had his own business. He was making his own
Yeah, I
pizza.
wouldn't know, you guys. Do you
And-
think it's wrong for him to do that?
And
I
he
mean,
was being professional with it. Of course,
yeah, he had good reviews.
he didn't have his license, but he had good reviews. So what? He used other pictures that weren't his, but they
I
didn't
know
say
a
the
lot of
pizza
people
was
who do
bad.
that.
They didn't say the pizza was bad. He did get boxes. He didn't just throw it in a bag. So he did all the work. He was trying to make a living. And that's the way I look at it. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, story 8 is one of those moments where technology runs straight into reality and loses without a fight.
Yeah, this happened earlier this year doing a delivery robot test run.
A tech company rolled out a fleet of small delivery robots in a neighborhood. Groceries, takeout, everyday orders, all automated.
They're programmed with strict safety rules. Don't hit anything living, ever.
So one robot is rolling along the sidewalk, doing exactly what it's supposed to do,
And then a cat appears.
not running, not startled, just casually walks up and sits directly in front of the robot.
And the robot, he just stops immediately.
The sensors detect an animal. The protocol kicks in. It's a full halt.
The robot behind it stops too.
Then another and another.
Eventually, there are about 30 robots lined up in a row.
Blinking lights, delivery bags still strapped on, all frozen.
And the cat,
The cat sits there, looks at the robot, blinks, flicks its tail.
like it's considering its options.
Remote operators are watching the live feed and they can't override the system without violating animal safety rules.
So they wait.
The neighbors notice, phones come out, videos hit social media almost immediately.
And 3 hours pass.
The cat stretches, lays down, takes a nap.
Eventually, a dog barks somewhere down the block.
The cat stands up and wanders off like nothing happened.
And all of a sudden, all the robots start moving at once.
The deliveries resume late, but they're still intact.
And the company later called it a success.
They said it was because no animal was harmed.
The cat became internet famous overnight.
Memes everywhere, a single cat stopping the future.
What sticks with me is how fragile progress looks in moments like that.
Yeah, billions of dollars in tech brought to a standstill by 4 pounds of confidence.
Nature still has no veto power.
And sometimes the smartest system is the one that knows when to stop.
And that's something. The
Hmm.
cat put the hold on all of that.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. This last story wraps the whole run, and it might be my favorite example of how confidence alone can carry a lie farther than logic ever should.
Yeah, this happened back at Bristol Airport back in 2024.
And if you've ever traveled, you know the setup. You're running late, you're stressed, you need to park and get inside.
That's exactly the pressure this guy used.
He set up what looked like an official airport parking entrance just off the main road.
Not hidden, not sketchy, right where tired travelers would expect overflow parking to be.
The sign reads priority parking, pre book only. Clean fonts, arrows, traffic cones, barriers.
Even a small booth, the kind you assume was temporarily airport infrastructure.
People pulled in already thinking about boarding times, security lines, and whether they'd make their flight.
They're told is 20 pounds, sometimes more. Guaranteed close spot, faster than economy parking.
Staff in high visibility vests collect the payment through the window.
Cash, card readers, receipts.
Nothing about it feels rushed. That's the trick.
Then they're directed down a narrow road.
At first, it feels fine. Then the pavement disappears.
And the road turns to dirt, then mud. Ooh.
Lights vanish. Trees replace signage.
And suddenly they're being parked in a muddy farmer's field.
No shuttle. No lights. No staff waiting.
Just cows staring at them like they wandered into the wrong reality.
Some people tried calling the number on the receipt.
And went straight to voicemail.
Others realized immediately they weren't making their flight.
And this went on for weeks.
Hundreds of travelers were affected. People were calling the airport from fields in the middle of the night.
Cars stuck in mud, tires ruined.
One diplomat ended up on camera furious. standing ankle deep in muck.
And police eventually traced payments back to a man living 2 miles away.
He'd built a full website, fake reviews, a live counter showing parking spots disappearing.
Wow. The pitch was simple: cheaper than official parking, closer than economy.
People paid because desperation typically just skips the double check.
And by the time the story hit local news, guess what, you guys? He was gone.
Tow trucks had to pull cars out of the field,
And trips were missed, and money was lost.
all because something looked official enough.
Wow. That's really the thread through all of these stories.
Yeah, the lawyer who bit coworkers, the raccoon that found an open bar, the mother who heard her daughter's cloned voice, the funeral home mistake, the fake firefighter, the serial butt sniffer, the backyard pizza restaurant, the robot stopped by a cat, and now this.
None of them needed exaggeration either,
They all happened because people trusted what was in front of them
or froze,
or panicked.
or assumed someone else had already checked.
That's what makes reality stranger than fiction. Fiction usually has rules.
Life just keeps moving.
If anything, this episode isn't about being afraid, it's about slowing down enough to notice.
Asking one more question.
Looking twice.
And first, and trusting your gut when something feels off, even if it looks official. Trust your gut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you've got a story that nobody believes when you tell it, send it to us.
Chances are, if it fits right in here.
Thanks for sitting with us through this one.
And this have been Voices and Views. You guys, what do you think? I think that was good. Those stories
Those
were
stories
good
were
and
really good.
funny. Um, a lot of them stuck out, and the thing about them, you think they were so amazing, nobody want to believe them, but they're all true and all have been proven and everything, and that's just a tip of the iceberg on weird things. I think we need to bring that again, sometimes, and find some different ones, that they can tell us about stuff that's actual true story that people did.
Yeah.
And two of them to me was just hustle stories, even though it was wrong. The one guy, with the pizza, but he was hustling. We don't know the rest of that story. And it seemed like he was trying to do everything right, as far as making it presentable. And, they never did say how it tastes or whatever. It was the fact that he was in his backyard. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
people
they left good
people
reviews.
grill in their backyard a lot of times and sell food. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of up in the air with that one. And the guy that had his own park and stuff at the airport, he was trying to get a hustle, and he was helping people, but he wasn't helping people in a way. He was
Yeah.
getting people vehicles stuck, and
Yeah,
you
if he would have
know
actually helped them and had
yeah, if he
a
would have
space for
actually had
them.
them space, a real space where they wouldn't get their vehicle damaged and everything, he would have been
Mm-hmm.
okay. But they were just jumping out and trusting and dropping that money. And like it says on there, it doesn't matter how legit it looks. That doesn't mean it's official.
Mm-hmm.
If it looks official, because
Right.
people can make stuff look official all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We have the technology out there for it.
Right, like the voice cloning story.
Yeah, I thought that was something, and you had mentioned something like that once before.
Yeah, when I
How
said when
people,
we talked about how you can't trust everything you see online.
yeah, and how somebody can clone your voice from calling you just to get enough information, get you to say your name enough, or
Mm-hmm.
just get your voice enough, and then they record that and use that to do other stuff. Boy, I tell you, just when you think you've caught up on the last scammer and crook, something else come out. But
Right.
it's just be diligent, do your homework.
Yep.
And so, good
Did anyone
show.
want to chime in?
Anyone
I'm
chime
not
in
seeing.
before we chime out?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any
I
comments
think
unless
maybe
they're
they were
not
just
popping up here.
listening. Maybe they were just good listeners.
Oh well, Kevin had said hello. I don't know
Oh, hi,
if it
Kevin,
didn't
my
show up
son. Oh, it didn't show up on
on
there.
StreamYard.
I'm sorry, son. It didn't show up on StreamYard when you said hello. I was wondering we didn't get comments. No one showed them, but we had people in here and people are
Yeah,
listening, and we still got
yeah,
people in here listening. So if you
yeah.
got a comment, it's not too late, you guys.
Yep, you can
Um,
still drop it.
you can still drop your comments, so your comments can still be on this episode. Um, keep tuning in to Voices and Views. We appreciate you guys when you're
Mm-hmm.
in here.
We
Your
do.
support means a lot. It really do. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we just want to do topics and talk to you guys and get you guys a chance to talk to us back. But as we always say, if you know someone that would be good for us to interview, they can bring, a fun show or, excuse me, just bring some information,
Mm-hmm.
tell us about their business, about what they're into. We like to promote people too. So they better get
Mm-hmm.
in now and do what they can before we kick off our sponsorship thing. And then there will
Right.
be a fee. It won't be free all the time to advertise.
Right.
We want to be in a new podcast. We want to get things started, get people in here, but pretty soon we will have merch. We
Mm-hmm.
have our merch going around, so we would need support that way. We need you to go on our pages and like and follow and share. We
Mm-hmm.
need you to do all that. So,
Yep. And in addition to sponsoring, you can also follow Zesty Z 60
yes,
on TikTok.
and go to my shop. And it's some things in there you can pick out, and that would help to support also, you guys. That would help
Mm-hmm.
to support us. So, um, I have a few things in there you can look out, and I'm going to add more things in there. Then I'll have things on hand where I can actually show you. So, there's always the support with your donations. Look out to support us in any way you can.
Mm-hmm.
We need it.
Even just sharing helps us out.
Oh yeah, sharing is very, very important. Sharing is to your platforms or wherever you can, inviting other people in. That means a lot. That means a lot.
Oh, the comments are showing up now. I can see them.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't know why our comments weren't showing up before.
Kevin Bright
But
said
now we
hello.
there's my handsome son.
There's my
There's
mom.
Janet there.
There's
Hi,
Chris. He said
Janet.
not the bottles.
Yeah, the raccoon in the bottles, that was funny.
Yeah.
He had a party and he passed out.
Vince Brooks says, have you guys talked about bringing on the new chief of police? I just met her and she's very nice. Has some great things going on, and she's attending the kids' event at the Lincoln Mall on February 28th.
Hmm. Okay, well, maybe we'll have to reach out to her since, and get her on here and talk
Mm-hmm.
to her. We certainly can do that.
Yeah, I didn't know they finally got
Hmm.
a new one.
Yeah,
I
they
know the
they
old one
do.
had retired, but I didn't know
Hmm.
they got a new one.
Yeah, they have a new one.
Okay. Any other
Anybody else got
comments
any
before we head
comments?
off for the night?
And thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed our stories, a true, funny, serious stories. It was a
Mm-hmm.
combination of all.
Right.
So we're gonna reach out and see if our guest is still coming for Friday. And if so, we'll have a guest on Friday. If not, we'll be back with some more fun topics. You want to tell them they can drop their chats in our chat. They can drop, their comments and,
Mm-hmm.
ideas about topics.
Yep,
And
you can join our community chat.
Mhm.
I wish I had the link ready, but I don't, unfortunately. But
Okay.
if you are on our Facebook page, we do have a community chat now. You can drop your topic ideas, talk more behind the scenes, whatever you want to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah, give us some referrals or
Yeah, if you have guests that would be
know.
great on here, if you
Mhm.
have something you want us to promote on here,
Mhm.
we'd be happy.
Yeah, like I say, get in on it now because very soon, very, very, very soon, we will promote for a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
It will be a fee for our promotion and our advertisement. I mean, we're doing the podcast to put the word out and stuff, but we need to start making the funds also so we can continue on. We can continue on. We can update equipment when we need
Mm-hmm.
it. We can
That's
expand,
probably the first thing we need to do, to be
update
honest with you
equipment.
guys. We need to update a lot of
Yes,
equipment. We want to have
yes.
a
And
nice.
so that's why we want to, so when we stream and get out there, that everything is nice. We have nice equipment
Mm-hmm.
because we do move around and cover events and everything. And so we just want to make sure we have the best equipment to do the best job.
Right.
And so that takes money.
Right.
So we'll be promoting items and we'll be trusting you guys to support us. So thanks
Yep, we will
again.
have merch
We're gonna have merch
very
real
soon.
soon, real soon, soon. So support, and I believe they will. I believe once we get merch, people will support. So thank
Yeah,
you
I do
guys.
too. Yep, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye. See you Friday.
We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. Come to the light.